Welcome back to Spitballin Cards. In today's video, we're talking all about Topps Finest, Topps Dynasty hitting soccer, talking about Topps Chrome basketball, and maybe even Cactus Jack. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. You don't need to worry about it. All right, in this episode, you have me, Scott, you have Ty, Phil, and Chris. And if you can't tell, I have a little bit of a bad shadow because I usually have some nice lights on me, so forgive the poor imagery there. Usually I need as much lighting to make myself look better as possible. But guys, let's dive into this. Ty, you're kind of the expert on basketball. Topps Chrome was announced, and it is a full Topps Chrome with I don't know how it works with basketball. Like the Players Association, they're all in it. They have rookie cards, but they are unlicensed with like team logos for this year. I think it's changed next year. Do you want to share your thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah, I'll share my screen and just show that this is kind of an interesting release because it has autos. So you can't get Wemby autos in Panini products. He's got Prism rookies and he's got Optic rookies and Select, but you can't get his autos. So while this is all unlicensed, whitewashed, no logo jerseys, this is kind of our first real preview of Topps basketball, Topps Chrome basketball coming back. And they're obviously going to have this for football. They're going to have this for basketball. Some of the cards, I don't know. This has a little bit more of like a Finest vibe to it than it does Topps Chrome. Not sure about the design of some of them, but the autos are going to be a big chase. I don't actually know. I should know this if there are LeBron autos in this because they got the rights to him, but it's going to be I think it's going to be really popular. I'm excited to see what the cards look like in hand, mostly for the future prospect of just Topps Chrome basketball coming back, as well as football in the future. So this is an exciting release. They did pay homage to an OG Rockstars refractor set from the 90s that is very popular. They had in Topps and Topps Chrome in the 90s, and kind of show off some of the superfractors. So I think those look pretty cool. But I'm a child of the 90s, so I like the throwbacks from time to time. So definitely some big stuff coming within the basketball world from Topps.
So these are all just the inserts than anything else.
Yep.
But I have to imagine that they're going to have a good design like they did in baseball this year. Baseball's design this year, I don't think anybody hates it. I could be wrong. I like it a lot. I think all of us like it here a lot. They're so much better looking than what Prism cards look like. I'm sorry. I cannot stand Prism look. I know, Ty, I think you do like them. But
I like older Prism, but newer Prism has kind of lost me a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Like, look at like Topps Chrome from the 2000s. Some of his designs are so cool, and I hope Topps can keep that up. And I think that's going to go a long way. I think it's nice to have them look entirely different year over year. I think that's a good thing for sports cards.
There's another massive release coming out too. I'll show this quickly. We've talked about Dynasty. These are, this isn't hyperbole. Are these the best Messi cards ever made? These are definitively in the conversation, like some of the best. For soccer, you don't get on-card autos a lot of times. So these are fantastic. And then, match worn, incredible patches. It's Dynasty at its finest. Is exactly what I want to see. And then this card is absolutely insane with Erling Haaland. For those who don't know soccer, he's kind of one of the top two dogs now in the world with Kylian Mbappe. So this is what I was talking about with like vaulting Dynasty into the spotlight across all collector segments. And this is huge. I don't know what this product's going to release at per box, but the idea of chasing these cards are going to do, I don't know what they're going to do. 10K plus, like each of them, like they're going to be huge. So yeah, maybe significantly more, honestly.
I think those cards will be a lot higher than 10K.
I threw out the first number that came. Yeah, they probably will. They probably will.
Match worn is not common in soccer, if I'm not mistaken. So like that's a big deal. I'll also note, Ty, I think you were onto something. When you first mentioned that you think Dynasty has a chance to become bigger than other things in baseball, I didn't really believe it. But I have a Juan Soto Dynasty RPN. I love that card out of 5. And I think if they keep this up and if they carry it over to basketball, I think there's a real chance it catches on even more in baseball. So
now on the opposite end, unlike Dynasty, unlike Topps Chrome, we've got Cactus Jack, which you referenced.
What the heck is
this? Is apparently, I didn't even know what Cactus Jack was. Apparently that is Travis Scott, the rapper who killed a bunch of people at a concert with this guy. I'm not a Travis Scott guy. I just know a bunch of people died at one of his concerts from the extreme nature of it
in Texas.
In Texas, yeah. So these cards, I don't know. I don't hate the design of these. I think they're interesting. Like they're going to be short printed. Like this looks like I wish this was an insert or something in Topps Chrome. I don't hate it, but it's another niche release, I guess, for people who are fans of maybe of his music and his devotees.
Is there a lot of crossover between, you think, Travis Scott fans and baseball card collectors?
I have no idea. I don't imagine.
Seems like an odd
I believe it would probably be more with basketball and football, but I don't know.
The right way to frame that question is there crossover between Travis Scott and gamblers? Yes, probably.
Fair point.
They're very short printed. Like it describes how you can get them. I think it's like only at concerts or something weird. And there's not much of it made. So this is not going to be something you see on shelves or at your hobby shop, most likely. So it's not going to impact 99% of the hobby, but it's just another card. And that's my issue with what Topps is doing. Just another Topps Chrome card that's going to be, someone thinks it's going to be a great buy, and maybe it is, but it's probably not going to be. And it's just dumb. I'm sorry. I don't love it personally.
Yeah. No, not at all. It's pointless. It's a completely pointless set.
These are just marketing sets. Like these are not designed to be successful to me. I feel like it's just marketing material more than anything else, disguised as a baseball card set.
It kind of reminds me, if you collected in the 80s, and I think you guys are all too young, but there used to be like Walmart, KB Toys, and like Caldor, Woolworth. They all used to have their own little box sets that Fleer made. And that kind of reminds me of that. And it would all be the same checklist, the same like 50 big stars. But that's what this kind of looks like to me. It's like a little Kmart All-Stars from the early 1990s.
My general reaction to those kinds of sets when they come out, whether it was Bob Ross or this or other things, is like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't actually bother me. I just sometimes I have a little bit of a visceral reaction, but I don't actually care. Like it doesn't bother me. I don't think it impacts like the flagship market. If people like the cards, great, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think all of us think it's fine. I know it is what it is, but let's talk about, we only have a few minutes left. Let's be a quick episode. We're 7 minutes in. Let's talk about Topps Finest real quick, because that's kind of what we want to talk about. But one thing I want to caveat is we're going to have a better episode on this later. A different episode with more depth on this later.
Post-release.
Checklist. Once it's released, we'll look at the checklist now and kind of give our thoughts. I'll go first. I don't like it. I hate the tiers. Topps Finest has always been a 100-card checklist, or at least for a long time. Now it's a 300-card checklist, and there's a tier 1 where it's common, a tier 2 uncommon, and a tier 3 rare. All the players are on them. They all have parallels of every single player on the different tiers. So there's going to be 3 superfractors of Jackson Holiday across each tier. I think it's dumb. I don't like that. I'm sorry if that sounds negative, because there's tiers. This is kind of copying what Panini does with Select. And that's fine. The actual rare is 1 in every, I think you get 2 per box. So it's not even close, Ty. You can correct me. My point is, though, it has a tiered thing like concourse, field level, whatever it is. That's more of what I'm saying. But I don't like it. That's just my initial gut reaction. Because I love Topps Finest. I think this is great, personally.
I actually love this, personally. I'll completely disagree on this one. I actually love the tiers. And actually, this is copying 90s Finest, which has tiers.
Yeah, 96, I think they did this.
Not the good Finest, 96 Finest.
Yeah. Well, I like the tiers. Maybe that's the again the 90s kid in me talking, but I think it's an interesting way of distinguishing the cards. I am with you, however, Scott. I'm with you. I don't like that there would be 3 superfractors. Like, I don't like that. Yeah. I think superfractors need to be sacred and reserved for 1 card on the checklist. And if you reference Panini Select, like you'll have like Victor Wembanyama has like 47 select 1-of-1s, like in the product, like 1-of-1s, and then like numbered to 2s and numbered to 5s and numbered to everything. So that starts to get overkill. Hopefully they don't do that. The good news is you can get all your oil spill refractors.
Oil spill? What is an oil spill refractor?
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. I can't. All I'm picturing is like Mike Trout with a bunch of like dead birds behind him, and it just seems like a really bad idea.
Have you ever seen oil spill though? And like that kind of the sort of like color
refractory shine.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it in words, but it could look really, really cool. Who knows?
Well, it could.
300
cards. Yeah. I was gonna say the 300 card checklist is so long, and I can see one of the names on there is Chris Bryant, so they could have just made it at least 299. Like we didn't need that Chris Bryant card. No,
297 because he's on there 3 times probably.
There is. I will say there's one Spencer Strider card in here. He's in the middle tier, so this is like one of his first Chrome cards that he's ever gonna have. So that's
why do they hate Spencer Strider, Chris? Why do they not give him cards?
I don't know. I love him too much, and he died.
They did take the key rookies this year, or who they perceive were the key rookies, and even the borderline key rookies like Henry Davis. They are featured in all 3 sets, which probably is a bit inconsistent with 1996. There probably weren't. Not every top player was in like level 1, level 2. It was like gold, bronze, and silver, and each of those had like their own refractors. This has a much wider list of refractors for each of those 3 tiers. And the 2 Jacksons are going to be featured 3 times. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is featured 3 times. Wyatt Langford, Jason Dominguez, Ellie De La Cruz. So I think this might be a play, increasing the checklist size, increasing really the number of refractors too. I think this might be a play for them to make this more of a mass-produced product, which sounds really bad, but in the past, like try to find like old boxes of Finest hobby on eBay. It's hard. It's hard to find, like even like crappy years like 2021. And they end up being kind of expensive. It's kind of like Bowman's Best. So I wonder if they do something similar with that. This is just a product that seems to increase in price just because they don't really print it a whole lot. So maybe their plan is just to make it a little bit more marketable, doing their, Fanatics, whatever they want to do to increase some hype in this product. And if they print it more, maybe they just have faith that they'll be able to sell it, even if it takes a little bit longer to sell out and stuff. So I don't know. I'd have to see it a little bit more closely when it releases, but at the end of the day, it's Finest. I mean, the singles in this product, they don't retain value that well. And now there's going to be so much more cannibalization across, the different parallels within one name,
Oh yeah. And it's going to be confusing as hell, I bet, to tell these tiers apart in person. I'm just guessing. I don't know. We haven't really seen them yet. I will also say that on Blowout right now, these boxes are $325. You get 60 cards. I can't rationalize coming even close to buying this. Can you guys?
Yeah, you get 60 cards. How many packs?
12.
Yeah.
It's 12. Right? So 2 mini boxes.
So 120 cards then. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
Wait, no. I think it's 60 cards. So each mini box is 6 packs with 5 cards each. So 6 times 5 is 30 times 2. That's the way it usually works. That's the way I think Bowman's Best works too. All right. So still 2 guaranteed autos, right?
Yes. 140 auto checklist at least, I think, for base auto.
They're usually on card, which is good.
Yep.
I don't know.
Does that say 10 cards per pack?
This says 10 cards per pack, 6 packs per box, but I guess that's just 3 in each mini box.
Oh, so is it 3 packs in each mini box?
Or is it 2? Isn't it 3 mini box? I don't know.
There's probably no longer a mini box then if they're doing 6 packs.
I think it is. I think I saw it in the preview on Top Site that it's still mini. Who knows? Here's what I don't understand. So there's no serial numbers listed on these. And then if you look at it, first of all, Topps is really ticking me off with Scooble's not in the Topps Chrome release, and he's only in the common level. And then you got Lamont Wade
only
Jr.
in the common.
What's that?
He's only in the common, Ty.
He's only in the common. He's only in the common. But then, so like, look at the odds. Oil spill refractor 1 in 317, gold 1 in 137. This is for uncommon. And then down here, you've got 1 in 69. But each section is 100. So are these not numbered to 50? Like how would the odds be longer of hitting a gold refractor from a uncommon or the rarest, whatever that one was? What was it?
Uncommon, they should be the same because there's 50.
The same. There's serial numbers.
Yeah, but there's fewer uncommon per box, like per pack, right?
Well, there's still only 50 of each player.
There's
still
they've got to distribute these.
True.
So it should be the same, right?
Yeah, that I don't know. We'll have to see how
every super refractor of a player, all 3 tiers should be the same.
Right, they should be the same. Yeah. 1 in 3354, and they are. So that to me tells me though the golds are going to be numbered differently.
Are they going to do a retail format or something weird?
I don't know.
Or a different format of like Breaker's Delight, and maybe that's
Could
why.
be. Could be. Could be.
I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. I
like the design personally. I like it actually.
I always think Finest is kind of slept on. I've always liked it, probably too much. And I think I've made videos on it on my personal channel. But not a fan of the increased size of the checklist. If it's homage to like the 1996 set, that's fine. But I bet this is where it's going to stay forever. And so it's just kind of, to me, I don't care about it anymore. Personally.
It used to be so cool. Like 93 Finest is a historically important set. 2010, 11, 12 are like incredible designs with like great parallels. They're really hard to find. And now it's sort of gotten watered down. And now we're going to have like sinking oil tankers on these cards instead. So
oil slick would sound a lot better than oil spill.
Agreed.
And if it looks like this, I'm here for it.
That's what Phil's saying. That's what Phil mentioned.
This is like some psychedelic. There's a person in there. I didn't even notice that. That's, maybe that's what's going to look. It's going to be like the negative refractors where you barely even can tell what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
I'm curious to see how these cards look. Maybe we'll talk about it next week when we actually see some.
Yeah, next week we'll talk about a lot more than just the odds and checklists. We'll talk about the way they look, all of that good stuff after watching a few breaks. So stay tuned for that. And other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.